Hello, hello friends, it's Tonton on my farm on my second account, I guess, from 3054. Today we're gonna talk about your first Hall of Chiefs. It's a very important event, and I'll talk a bit about the first one and explain kind of how you prepare for it and what you should do. But that's gonna be a recurring event, so you basically gonna have Hall of Chief every 2 weeks, and then you're gonna have two different events every month that will replace all of shift. So you will still have that kind of events every 2 weeks. You will have state versus state preparation phase, and then you will have King of Icefield, and these will come later, and they are a bit different, and they will replace basically all of shift. But the way it works is the same. The first version of the All of Chief is just a bit shorter and a bit more simple. Often these events are, could be 7 days. For some of them, SVS Prep is 5 days, but King of Icefield and the proper version of All of Chief is 7 days. So you have 7 days to do things in the game. And the way it looks like is you will have activities every day, so you can go to your events, and you will have every day you can see what you do. So today is very simple. You get points. For every power you gain, you get 45 points for research or building. So it's not about using speed up, it's about completion of a building or completion of a research. So let's say, what can I do now? Let's say I can do, let's do that quickly, bam. So let's do, I'll do my shelters today. I'll push as well with you guys to show you. So that's gonna be 351 power for the upgrade. So it's not gonna be all, but 300 gems times 45 is gonna give me nearly 16,000 points, right? Every time I do that for 10 minutes, and you see I'll pop them like candies practically. And research is the same. So what I've done is I kept a lot of low-level building for your first Hall of Chief. So I kept all my shelters. I kept my infirmary. And I kept my storehouse as well, so I'm gonna be able to upgrade all of these today to make points. And that's basically something you want to do for the first one, is to keep some of the buildings to basically improve them, right? So that's something you can do. It's gonna be, I'm not gonna push too much right now because it's gonna get a bit boring. I'll do that a bit later, and so let's start a building that is a bit longer for now. So we can chill basically. So that's day one. So day one is the base day for both construction and research. So you want to use every steel you get, every resource you get, and you still want to progress toward your furnace. So we will do that in a sec as well, using the double time, and I'll show you that now in a second again. So let's remove some hours from this one, and in a few minutes we'll be able to push that. Few minutes we'll be able to do a good push, and that's gonna be good for us. So that's the first day. So that's day one, and you can see it here every time. Then second day, you will see how to make point. You have the Lucky Wheel. Lucky Wheel is an event where you use your gems or currency you get from purchasing packs. So it's either with real money or it's either with gems. To spin a wheel, and you will get chances to get some rewards. So you can get resources, XP and stuff like that. But what you care about during the Lucky Wheel is to get hero shard from the current hero. And in Generation 1, you get hero shard from Dean Man. Dean Man is not a great hero in many regards. He's okay in arena, but you kind of need to max him out, and that's more for spenders. If you're a low spender or free to play, you're not gonna be able to max Dean Man. So you should not really consider him for fighting that much. You want to have Dean Man for this building, like I've talked to in another video. Construction goes down and construction speed up, right? So that's why I saved a tiny bit of gems, and that will be for tomorrow's video, where we'll basically spin the wheel a tiny bit and try to get Dean Mans to level 2 shards. So that's spinning the wheel. You will get points to use hero shards, right? So the rare one, the epic one, and the mythic one. Mythic one are the orange ones. So you can see I've saved a lot of them, right? So I have 40 here, I have 45 here, I have 100 and plus on Gina. So I save a lot of shards. So I want to make a test. You might not want to do that because I'm kind of slowing down my progression, but I wanted to see is if a free to play had a chance to rank decently on the first Hall of Chief, which, I didn't have to do for a year and a half myself, so I cannot really remember what happened that long ago. So we will use that account to make a test, right? So you don't have to save as much. I will actually suggest to keep upgrading your top 5 heroes, and if you want to save a bit for SVS, then maybe you save the extra. But again, Hall of Chiefs, if you look at the amount of points, people are already 50 million points. I'm 6 million, so let's see, maybe I do 15 millions or something, but because I saved a bit, but you see, like, it's gonna be rough. And in the top 100 currently, if you look at Power or Furnace or whatever, let's look at Furnace for a sec. Let's look at Furnace. So I'm free to play. I'm actually not doing too bad, but most people that are, beyond level 17, either they started a bit earlier than me, but most of them are and 60-70 players already understood. Most of these players have purchased some packs, and I'm sure most of them have purchased pack at that stage in the game. So they bought the extra builder, the extra queue, some of the packs to speed up. Because for me, I'm free to play, but on this account, but I'm playing kind of perfectly, if that makes sense. I know what to do. I'm not making any mistakes. Nearly, I'm kind of progressing as fast as I can. So some people will be as advanced as me, and they might have spent 50 euros because they don't really know what they do yet, right? So that's what these videos are about. So, your research today, then tomorrow is the wheel, and the wheel will give you shards, so that will help you get points. And the wheel is giving you a lot of points. And you can spin the wheel up to 150 times per day, and the max. We'll talk about the wheel tomorrow. It's gonna be easier. And then you get points for gathering resources, which is very good as well. So you need to try tomorrow to gather a lot, use your hero shards, and if you have some gems, then it will worth to unlock Dean Man. So that's why I'm kind of accumulating a bit of gems. And you start to look at the reward you get in Hall of Chiefs. You get a lot of resources, you get a lot of speed ups, and you start to get a decent amount of gems. So with the events that are being lined up, right? You have Hall of Chief, you have Alliance Mobilization. That's gonna give you great gems as well and great rewards. You have Crazy Joe, that's gonna give you some hero gear stuff, chief gear stuff that we'll talk about later. So all of these heroes will start to really increase the amount of things you get from the game. The first few days, the games give you very little back in terms of gems, in terms of resources. You will start to get a lot more, but as well you will start to get to be higher level, so you will need a lot more. So that's day 1, that's day 2. Day 2 is the best for everything there is. There is only day 5 where I'll talk about day 5, but day 5 is the worst for everything basically. But in that version of Hall of Chief, you have everything one time, and you can just do the activity of the day. That's as simple as that. It's just that day 5 allows you to do a lot more, but the other days are a lot better. So day 1, you do construction and research. You do as much as you can, and it's for completion. So again, yesterday I started my furnace that finished today, for example. So when I woke up this morning, my furnace was finished, and all of that was completed because I did my furnace while I was sleeping. So that's something you want to time. When you have an event that's giving you points for power increase, you want to time. Sometimes it's point for power increase for troops. So you want to time your training, you want to time your research and time your building to finish after the reset, practically. So you get points for the event. So that's okay. We saw hero shard and gathering. So tomorrow you can gather. If you want to gather a bit more, in that little arrow up, you go to growth, you get gathering speed, and you can activate for 24 or 8 hours, right? And that's 600 gems. So that could be really worth it. If you play a lot tomorrow and you are online a lot and you can send your marches, that's gonna really allow you to gather a lot faster. Many people that spend a bit of money at the beginning of the game will use that to really gather fast. And they'll spend 600 gems per day basically to gather faster. And as a free-to-play, I would not suggest that unless you are really like in deep trouble for resources. That could be for one day, it could be worth it. But it's better to make a farm, and that's what I've mentioned I think in yesterday's videos, and it's a good time to make a farm, and I have a video guide for making a farm. Day 3 is about training troops. So you have how much point you get per troops when you train. So that's why you want to rush to the higher furnace level, is because the higher level troops you train, the more points you will make in events, and the stronger are the troops and the more resources they gather overall. In Whiteout Survival, it's a game where you want to have max troops. You don't care to have low level troops. I play Rise of Kingdoms like maybe 5-6 years ago, so I don't know how it is today, but at the time in Rise of Kingdom, you will gather tiles with level 1 catapult, like the siege units, you will do that. So when I started Whiteout, I thought it was the same and it was good, and I trained a lot of T1 troops. There is no use of low-level troops in Whiteout Survival. So you want to promote troops on training day. We call it training day because it's trained troops, and you see point earned from promotion are the difference in point between training troops and the corresponding level. So if I train from, let's pick an easy one, from 2 to 3, I get only 60 points per troops. But the way it works in the game, and I can show you right now, let's finish that. If I train T5, I can train 300 troops. If I promote T4 to T5, I can promote 1,100 troops. So you get, while you get a bit less points, you promote a lot more troops for the same amount of time. It's still 2 hours. So basically on training day, you want to promote all your troops. And if you promoted all your troops, you want to train infantry in the game. And that's something you will quickly see, but Lancers are getting less injured and they are killing less than every other troops. So you don't need Lancers, you just want to promote your troops. Maybe the first few weeks you can train some Lancers with your speed up, but quickly you should stop using training speed up on Lancers. The game will give you enough naturally, right? For most people, you will have naturally over time, and on my older account, that's a year and a half old, I have far too many Lancers because they never die. I mean, they rarely die. Then the troop that died next is Marksman. And you need actually a lot more Marksmen, and it's linked to Bear Trap and other events that you can use Marksmen. So you need Lancers, you need them the least in terms of amount of troops you will use in battle, and they are dying the least, and they are injured the least. So you need very little amount of Lancers compared to Marksmen. You need a bit less Lancers compared to Marksmen, and you need a lot less Lancers compared to infantry. So you basically, if you have a choice, you promote your infantry first, you promote your Marksmen second, you promote your Lancer third, and then if you have speed ups, either you train infantry, so when you have a battle, you will have more troops available because they will die a lot quickly, they will be injured a lot more quickly, or if you care to do a bit more damage in the early days, you train a bit of Marksmen, so you will have, on Bear, you will be able to send more marches with more Marksmen, and Marksmen are the ones that deal the damage on Bear, for example. So that will be not for Wednesday, because that's usually in the middle of the week, but because it's a new state, we are kind of it's kind of all messed up in terms of scheduling. So that will be for Sunday. So Sunday, I'll make a quick video about training, and I'll show you exactly how to train, in case you have question about it. So that's one thing. So that's for day 3. Day 3, it's only about training. And you will likely need to use speed ups to complete the. Basically, your goal on such events, there will be many other events later. You will have, 2 days event, 3-day event, week-long event, 7-day event. You will have many, and your goal will be to unlock all the minimum reward every time. That will be very important for you because you can see, like the order is like the 1,000 points. You get this is very little. Then it's 400k points, right? 400k 20. You get resources, so that's really good. As a free-to-play, that's really good. That's a lot. That will help you a lot at the beginning. Then the third tiered reward, you're gonna get speed ups, and then you get gems, and gems are very important as well. So you want to unlock all of these every time you have an event, and that means you need to spend your speed ups, you need to spend whatever you use during events. That's really, really important to use during events. I know the first few days there was not really an event to teach you that, but starting for your first Olaf Chief or the first event you have, you need to use things when there is an event because you get something back for what you use. You're gonna use speed ups, you're gonna get back resources and speed up, plus you're gonna get some gems. So it's the best time to use it. If you use it and there is no event, you will likely not be able to complete an event later, or you will make less points in the event. And we'll talk about the ranking as well in a minute. Third day is about killing either beast or polar terrors. Here the math is very simple. A polar terror will cost you between 25 and 20 stamina. And that's something you need to start to understand. There are 1 hero in all of these that's reducing the stamina that you use to kill beast or polar terror, and it's Gina. And if you look at Gina, if you look at her skill, if you look at the first one for expedition skill, and that's the only hero in the game, there are no other heroes that do that, stamina cost reduction. So basically, it's gonna reduce up to 20%. So I'll assume it's 20% because it's easier for math, but it still applies for the Olaf Chief even if you don't have a max level. Basically, a Polar Terror costs 25. let me see day 4, sorry. Yeah, day 4. So a Polar Terror costs 25. So with Gina Max, it's gonna cost 20. So for 20 stamina, you get 90,000 points, right? So if I divide 90,000 by 20, you get, can I show the calculator? Does not want to show anymore. Okay, because I have 2 open. So let's do 90 by 20 stamina. You get 4.5k points for in the event for your stamina. So that's why you want to save some stamina can for this event and burn some stamina can for this event, like I mentioned before. Or as a spender, that's why you want to buy stamina cans, is because you will get a lot more points. If I take the beast, you get 30k points per beast, but it costs, at the lowest, it's gonna cost 8 stamina, right? So you divide 30k by 8, and it's giving you 3,750 points. So you see, for per point of stamina you use, you are gaining a lot less, and that's, you know, I don't know in percentage from the top of my head, but that's 15%, something like that. And if you do, of course, you know, that minus that, it's 750 points. So per stamina you use, you're gonna get 750 points. So if you use 10,000 stamina, because you bought cans and whatever, you know, that's gonna be a shit ton of points, right? So you want to rally Polar Terror on that day. And I'll show you, I have a recap that you can take a screenshot, or, you know, you can get it, that, you know, you can get it somewhere. But that's, rallying Polar Terror is good, it's better for points. Having said that, right now, beasts are very good, because for us, that will be in 3 days from now. So in 3 days, we won't have Gina, so it's not as good, but they give, you know, doing beasts give a lot of resources, basically, compared to Polar Terror. So if you look at a beast, it's, let's say, 50k, 10k, 2.5 to sum up. And if you look at a Polar Terror, it's give you 40k, 4k. So that was 2.5. So the only thing that the Polar Terror give you more is iron. It gives less of everything else, but the benefit of Polar Terror, it's giving you more gems, it's giving you shards, and it's giving you more speed ups, right? So basically, if you need resources, Beast is the best, particularly because early days as well, you get that mission, which is defeat a 10 level 8 beast, and that's give you, on top of that, that's giving you resources. So if you really like resources and you don't care about your ranking and pushing for that event, you can get a beast on that day, because that's gonna give you a lot more resources, and that's what you're gonna need the most. So the best for point for the event is Polar Terrors, but the best for your resources, if you are stuck, is actually killing beast. So that's something you want to consider, depending on what you care about the most. And then day 5, you get points from construction, research, but on day 1, per power you get 45. Here you get 30, so it's, you know, from 30 to 45, it's 50% more points, right? So that's giving you a lot less points. So you will still need to push on the last day, but if you have to use your speed ups and burn all your resources, that's why you want to do it on day 1, because day 5 gives you a lot less points. Here you get points for raise 1 power by training or promoting troops, and that I've calculated on all events many times in the game. You can trust me on that. That's give 3 to 5 less time points from the top of my head, but we can do some maths together if you want. So I'll actually do it just to show you, but that's, you get a lot less points here than you get from training in that. So let's say, let's look at what I have. It will be the simplest way. So let's look at training 1T5, and that should tell me somewhere how much power it gives me. Can I see how much power it gives me before waiting 30 sec? It's giving 13 power, right? So let's verify, but that's giving me 13 power. So 13 power on the last day is, let me put that here. So let's clear this one. So 13 power on the last day is 20 points, right? So let's do that. It's 13 power. Okay, so on the last day, on day 5, it's gonna give me 260 points for 1 troop. 260 points. On day 3, it's giving me 45, 1 troop, it's gonna be 385. So you see it's 50% more, basically, more or less, right? So you get a lot more points on day 3, basically. So you can still train on day 5. You'll burn all your training speed ups on day 3, basically. And if you need to push more, you can keep pushing on day 5, basically, by training. But if you have to choose, you have to push on day 3. That's why I'm making guide about events, because many events have these things, and sometimes they are complicated to know which day is the best if you don't understand the game. So that's why I'm making guides for you guys, so you know when to push. So day 1 you push construction speed ups. Day 2 you do everything, the wheel, and we'll talk about it more tomorrow. You do the shard, you do everything, because there is only one occasion. Training you do day 3. Beast you do day 4, because that's only occasion. And then day 5 you burnt everything you could before, and if you still need to make point, then you can do a bit more of that, and that's okay, right? But that's how you push about it. Then what else is available in all of Chief? And you will get these kind of rewards every day, so you will want to unlock the 40th reward every day. You see Hero of the Season, Geronimo. Geronimo, there's only 2 ways to get him. It's the VIP from here, so it's starting at VIP 7, right? So, you know, it's a 60 euro pack, then it's another 60 euro pack, then it's another 60 euro pack, then it's or that was a 20 and 350, and then the last one are 100 euro pack up to VIP 12. So it costs hundreds of euros to get Geronimo. Geronimo is one of the best heroes in the game. You're gonna keep him for many, many generations. So if you're a spender, you will want to buy packs, to buy these packs, because you're gonna keep Geronimo as a rally leader until Gen 5 or 6. If you max it out to 5 stars, if you max out his widgets to 10 levels, he's gonna be better than all the other heroes in many, many situations. There are, you know, edge cases where the new heroes are better, but, you know, you're gonna keep it for 6 to 12 months, basically. You're gonna use Geronimo, and he's the best for bear as well, so you're gonna keep him for bear for 2 years nearly. And that's, you know, unless the devs are changing something, but at least a year and a half, if not 2 years probably. For us, we are Gen 8, so we have been playing the game for nearly a year and a half, and he's still the best for bear trap on my other city. And so you can either buy him with money or get shards from that event. And how do you see? You get shards based on your total ranking. So, and your total ranking is the total of points you made every day. So today there is only 1 day, so that the total of points is total of today, and then tomorrow will be day 1 plus day 2. Then, you know, and at the end of the event, they accumulate all the points, and your ranking will give you the shards. And the ranking give you the following, right? For the first player, you get 200 shards. For the second player, you get 100 shards. For the third, you get 70. If you are top 5, you get 40. So you see between the difference between being top 5 and being first is a lot. It's really big, right? And you get points up if you are in the top 100. So at the free-to-play, you might not always get in the top 100 of every event, especially at the beginning, because there are a lot of activity on your stage. You might not. But you might, you know, especially the first few events, you will want to use all you can, so you are not lagging behind too much, right? If you cannot, if you watch me for a while, and, you know, if you look at my older videos, for like more experienced player, after a year, sometimes I'm suggesting to accumulate for 3 months, to push on an event, to use all you have on an event, and to have a chance to rank 1 or 2. But that's not good when you are in the early days. In the early days, you cannot wait for 3 months. It's far too much. For us, the game has a slower pace. For you, at that stage, the game is a very, very fast pace. So you need to use all you can. So for me, saving for 3 days already, 3 days, not 3 months, I'm behind so much. Like, I have so much shards, and I could have unlocked level 225 or something here. I'm so much behind because I've saved only for 3 days. So it's already a lot. So don't save too much, basically. That's kind of the advice here. Don't save too much. But me, I'm doing an experimentation to see if I can actually do something at the free-to-play on the first All of Chiefs. But it seems not. It seems not, because people are already, if you look at the top 20, people made, you know, yeah, I will see, but I might not be able to, basically, compared to spenders. So that's kind of all you need to know at the All of Chief. So now we'll play it together. So what am I doing? Let me actually cancel this one. I'll do many upgrades. So let's see. I'll burn a lot of research with you guys, and then I'll burn a lot of building. So let's do the research. I'll use all my steals. So basically, what I'm doing in this tree, which is let's do 1 hour here. On growth, so I'm focusing on economy. Economy, I have nothing to do because I've done it all this morning when I started, because I unlocked Research Center level 13. So I went and I did all of it. You want your economy for a few more days. Later you might not do the last 2 levels or 3 levels of economy. Like you can skip a bit later, but up to there is 5. You want to max out until all level 3s for sure, and you want to maybe max half of them in level 4 or something like that. You want to do some in level 4 as well, because it's really important and you need resources. So economy you do as soon as you can. That's okay. You don't have to wait for an event to do economy. Growth, I basically done the middle one on linearly. So I've done building, research, and training. So we'll do training now. We'll finish training because training troop is very important, and you do extra deployment capacity. For now, extra training capacity, you don't care. It's not really important. You can skip it. I should have kept it, but not do it basically. You don't care about your infirmary size. That will be for later when you fight. You don't care about your healing speed. So here what you want to do is priority is building speed. Then so it's economy and building speed. Then when you did your building speed, what you want to do is research speed, because it will start to be useful, because research will start to take hours and days. So you need to research to be maxed, and then you want to do your training speed. So when you've done building, training speed, and research speed here, and of course your extra march, then if you have a lot of steel, you can start to go to your economy, right? I would not touch yet these buildings and upgrade these things that require steel, because I'm gonna wait for a few more days basically, because when my research is a bit further, I will be able to my research will start a day or 2, and I will start to accumulate steel and to have an extra amount of steel. Steel at some point you get too much of it for a little while, for 6 more months until you get new buildings and new things in the game. But for 6 to 9 months you will get too much steel after the first few days. So right now we are still short on steel at that stage of the game, so we keep steel for research to progress for research, and we just use steel to improve this to produce more resources basically. That I'll need to do anyway, so let's do some now. And if you can keep clicking, it's faster when you have a building to improve. Then we will do all of these together. We'll do that. Here it's finished as well, and then we will use some speed ups and do a lot of research and see how many points we can do together. So we are at 8 million points, so let's see with all I kept, what can we do. Let's speed up that so the video is not too long. If it was me, I would have waited if I was alone, but I don't want the video to be too long. So because we'll do a lot of small research. So see, my research takes 5 minutes. That's why you don't want to do them sooner, because they take 5 minutes or 2 minutes, and you see they will go instantly because my alliance is helping. So here in research, if you remember what we said yesterday, what do we want to focus on? We want to focus on attack. First, we want to focus on health, on infantry, and then we want to focus on lethality, on marksmen and lancers, and then we want to focus on defense on infantry and attack on marksmen and lancers, right? So that's on the left. You have you have infantry. In the middle, you have common research to all troops sometimes, but you will have marksmen. On the right, you will have lancer. Let's start with attack. I have to do all of them, so I'll do 1 level of each anyway, because you need to progress. So that we're gonna do 1 level of each, see where it brings us, and then if we have extra steel, we're gonna go a bit further and push on the stats we care about. But like all of these are, they are instant to do them now, and they are giving me point for the event. So that's why, it was better to use my steel on growth research before, right? So that's why I did not do any battle yet, and that's okay. The game do not require you to have battle research at that stage for what we do. Polar Terror level 2. If you cannot do Polar Terror, it's actually not important at that stage of the game. It's really not. So we'll do that. We'll do all of them. And you can see the amount of steel you got. I still got 80k of steel, so that's gonna be quite a few research. So I'm gonna unlock everything, because doing the in research that way, like the first level is very cheap. The second level is more expensive, and the third, fourth, 5 level are a lot more expensive. So as well, when I gave you the priority of stats, it's health for infantry, lethality for marksmen and lancers, then it's defense for infantry, then it's attack for marksmen and lancers. If you go too deep in the tree and just doing health like a crazy man before you do any lethality or defense or another stat, it's gonna start to be really expensive to do health. So you have to find the balance between doing the priority stats that will take more days of research, more skill and everything, and just doing the other one because they are good as well. Even if health is better than defense, that's a bit longer. For infantry, it does not mean health is useless. It does not mean lethality or attack is 100% useless on infantry, even if it's very much useless in many ways. But it's not totally useless, right? It's just a lot better on marksmen and a lot better on infantry. So I gave you priorities, but you will need to think and look a bit about how much it takes, you know? And as well, the research that that buff all the troops. So usually you have a pattern, right? When it's like that, it's, you know, one troop at a time, so infantry, marksmen, lancers, and when it's like that, it's all troops or deployment. Deployment is the amount of troops you send in a march, right? So let's see if I can do something else. So we are done. Oh, we got a bit of stamina, so you know you can always optimize how you play. I have no okay. I have no... okay, they are close enough to me that I'm not destroying them. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough, so I'm not gonna do that, it's gonna be too slow. So let's focus on upgrading. So we'll do some of the slower buildings while we do the research first, and then I'm gonna speed up building. So first you unlock everything as far as you can. So then you can select what you want to increase, but it might take a bit more time. So I might do some off stream, basically, off video. If it's too slow for today, I'll just do, you know, some of it with you guys to kind of show you the idea and the intent and the amount of points you can make by saving a bit. But that's, you know, that's for me. I have no stats, so everything I'm gaining, you know, 35%, 0.75, 1.5, you know. Recording. And something they will change at the the next update, that ultra value monthly card that many people bought, it will auto help as well. So it will do the auto help, auto tap, right? So that will make your progression at that stage, because now people have to see and tap, and so if you push, you might want to ask people to tap help, so they pay attention to that. You know, if it's a bit slow, you can look at, you know, how many people we have online. You know, we have 15, so, you know, I could count on, you know, 5 to 10 people tapping, right? And then, you know, a few minutes are going off every time someone is pushing, right? So as long as it takes 30 minutes, it's gonna be okay, basically. So you do that, and if you do building at the same time, you know, I'll do that one later. So I'll keep it non-training, but because I'll do it a bit later. So that's why you want some research speed and all of that. It's because, you know, so it starts to be a bit slow. So I'll stop doing it with you guys because it's gonna take a bit of time. But we say, what did we say? We say we want to increase health of infantry. So we're gonna so it's called shield upgrade, right? So we do health of infantry, so we focus on what we said. That's the most important thing for me right now. Let's go, guys. Tap, 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 tap. You can tap for others as well, but you see, like 12 minutes is like 4 people helping and it's gone in a sec. And if I do that during bear trap, or if I do that in a time when there are more people online, it's even faster, right? But that's 3 minutes. You know, 3 minutes for a bit of lethality, you know, that's gonna give me in total 4% lethality, which I have nearly none right now. So it's a lot, you know. Later 4% is not much, but right now it's a lot. So let's do Lancers lethality, right? So I'm trying to teach you like the good basics, the good habits, to understand your tree of research and to do the right things. Many people, they just go through and they do whatever. and it makes you a lot weaker. Deployment capacity is really good as well, so you can always do it when it's, it's very quick like that. You can do some deployment capacity. That's a very good one to do. Then we did lethality, we did health. So now we're gonna do what? We're gonna do defense, right? So we're gonna increase defense here. So you see, I already lost 20,000. 20,000 steel. I forgot the name. But because I accumulated for 3 days, I still have a lot. So I'll be able to do a lot of research. So I could have been stronger sooner, but again, I'm not doing anything. I'm not fighting with anyone. There is no event that requires me to be stronger. So there is no point. So now I've done tier 1 of attack and defense and tier 1 of lethality and health. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do tier 2. And I might stop here for the video. Maybe we're just going to wait for it to be a bit, see if it pops, We're gonna do some smileys and gonna see our points. See, I'm already 16 million points. So I doubled my points with stupid little researches. I can do that for 2-3 hours today, maybe a bit less, but I can do that for a very long time because I had 80k when I started. I still have 60k. So you see the amount of points I can make by accumulating. So I'll see if I can actually rank and do something, guys, as a free-to-play. If you're a spender and you say for 2 or 3 days and you follow my guides, you can rank first just by doing that, or second, because you might be outspent. Like someone might spend a lot more than you, basically, and that's totally possible. Some people could have spent already 1,000 or 2,000 in the game at that stage if they really purchase everything. So my buildings are still going. So do I have a free builder? I have a free builder, so we can rotate between doing a building. And see, if you plan to do this thing, it's gonna take a lot of your time in the day. So that's why you have to it's not that easy to push. It's a video game and you're like, oh, I'm gonna spend money and it's gonna be okay. But spending money and pushing for event, it's gonna take you hours and hours and hours in your day to do it. It's really gonna take a while. But now we're gonna alternate between constructions and research, right? So because they all take a bit of time, so we don't want to waste our time, so we are multitasking basically. So let's do this one. I'll make a recap of the point I made anyway. So let's maybe do 10 minutes together more. And around 45 minutes for the video, I'll stop. So you get a good idea of why I kept, why I get some XP, so I'll be able to improve my heroes. Because I was missing on a lot of things, basically, because I did not do, I did not know all of my buildings. See, like all the XP I get, 9k, 10k, that's shit ton of stuff. So that's usually why the game pushes you to do all of that. So, okay, I got my shelter finished. You see, you have a little image from the game when it's finished, so you can always know when you're doing something else and you want to optimize your time. So you just click. Okay, maybe we look. Oh, level 6 are going very quick, so we can just, see, it's already finished. I have no time to finish that building that's already done. And my dude's gonna be a lot more happier, right? So they're gonna be more productive as well. So let's do, can I do level 7? Because I'm kind of behind on upgrading all these things. So you want to do your shelter quick because your people will be happier and more productive. So basically, after pushing for research today, I'll start to finish these basically. In the next 2-3 days, I'll finish these. There is no rush. Or you can as well keep clicking here. That's working too. So research is done. So we're gonna go to the next one, which is only 17 minutes. So often, the best, it's not random, right? The best research are taking more time. If you look at, I just did health. I'll look with you, right? But I just did health on infantry, and it took 33 minutes. And I just started health on marksman, and it took like 17 minutes. So the best, basically the best stats are the ones that take the longest to train. And that makes sense, you know, they know, they are the one deciding how the game works. So that was, you know, that's 49 minutes to go to, and that's only defense, right? But defense, you know, is better on infantry as well, so that's 49 minutes, and it's worse on lancers and marksmen, so it takes less time to do, basically. So you see, if you alternate between the two, it's kind of going quick. So I'll put everything to level 8 first. And you can say thank you for people that are tapping. And we'll try to get, you know, get to do a lot of points together. So now I'll try to go to unlock lethality here. Health and lethality, and then I'll push these if I can today, because they are the most important one, basically. That's why you want an alliance that is very active. That's why you want to wait as well to push these buildings, because if you don't have an active alliance, if you don't have a high level embassy, because that's every time people tap, it's, you know, embassy is increasing. If you look at the details, the amount of assist you can get and the time you get, the second you get per assistance, right? And then your alliance technology is doing that as well. So if I did that a few days ago, so here in growth, you can see you can help more, and that's give more time, and then you can help more, basically. So if I did that a few days ago, it would not be as effective. It will take me a lot more time. It will be a lot slower, because simply we would have worse tech for the alliance. I will have worse tech, worse embassy level. So it really goes faster later. And you know, at the end of later in the game, you can get up to 50 help, and that's, you know, 3-4 hours that you are saving off buildings and research. So that's a lot. So they are all level 7 except that one, all level 8 except that one. So let's go, and then we'll see a bit. Oh, it look like for when it comes to points in this event. And I did not do the big stuff, right? I'll do it actually with you guys before I stop. I'll do the furnace. I'll do the furnace with you guys, because that's gonna give a shit ton of points. So I'll do that before in the last few minutes, to show you a bit that aspect as well. So overall, all of these will be level 10. I'll basically burn all I can, and tomorrow I'll do my heroes, and then after my heroes, tomorrow I'll be as strong as I should. That will be, you know, day 1 and 2 is like you do your building and your research day 1 and 2, then you do your heroes day 2. I mean, building day 1 and research day 1, and then heroes day 2, and then you are back to your normal power. So now just a tiny bit weaker for a few days, and that's not the end of the world, basically. You can maybe doing one of these, but I know some of you have limited amount you can play every day, so whatever you do, you know, optimize for it, basically. And I'm recording a video, so I'm not really pushing it, because I don't want to be swapping screen every 2 seconds for you guys, you know. You know, if I was ready, I could just do that, and I could just join with 1 troop, and then I could just send a march to one of the beasts as well. I actually send Gina to the rally, and I could save 1 stamina by, you know, not sending Gina there, but that's okay. So level 9, so let's go. And then in a sec we will stop. For the video, I'll do furnace. That is with wood, so we'll increase it as well. So you see, you know, that's increasing mood. So, you know, having them level 9 is increasing mood, so it starts to be very important. Where is my other builder? Oh, it's here, right? So we can do actually what we can do. We can do that. We can do, let's push a tiny bit of that just for fun with the buff. So, you know, it's 20% less. I just need time to basically start my embassy and all of that. So see, I'm unlocking regional expansion, so it's a good deployment capacity. So that's one thing I will do at the free-to-play as well. I'll do health and lethality and deployment capacity. That will be one of the focus for sure. That's really important. So here we popped the 20% building reduction cost. So that was, I did not show you, but that was nearly 1 day and 8 hours. So now it's 1 day and 7 hours. So it's a lot quicker, basically. So we will, before we jam it, we're gonna wait for people to basically speed it up a bit. So we're gonna save, maybe 1 hour by people helping it. So while we do that, but we have a 5 minute. The buff is lasting for 5 minutes, so you don't want to be. I want to start my embassy as well with it. I want to start maybe. I won't do a bigger building because I'm kind of. If I was not making the video, I would have done all the smaller buildings before. I would have waited a few hours. I would have done my camp and all of that before I'm pushing for Furnace. Because I could benefit more from using the 20% building reduction and using it on embassy and research camp, for example, and research center later. But that's okay, for the sake of the video. It's not an account I'm planning to play seriously. So, that's really okay. You can see you get a lot of reward, you get some gem, you get a lot of XP, so we'll get some more XP on the heroes, so there's a lot to click. I cannot keep the click, I have to spam click. I have to spam click. So that's my end of day 5, right? So that's the end. It's mid-afternoon for me, so that's a good. See how much shit you get for free. So here I'm gonna use 40 sec. So I'm gonna finish it. 40 sec is low enough. So let's do what I said to you guys. When you finish Furnace, you start embassy immediately. Then what do you next? You look at the other buildings. And the other building will be marksman camp, which I need to do 15 and 16 first. But that's gonna finish tomorrow, so I have the night to do it. So I have time basically. I have time. So let's do this, and you keep doing that, and we'll. I don't think I have nor the resource. I'll check actually with you, but I don't think I have the resources because I burn everything I had in my bags. To do Furnace 18. Yeah, see? I have 2 million, it requires 10. So I'm basically lacking resources, so I cannot go further. Even if I have some general speed ups and some construction speed up I could use to go further, I cannot go further because of resources. So that's, again, why I'm saying, you kind of lack resources at the beginning. And you see, it was 10 minutes for that, and it's 26 because it's lethality. So we'll do a bit more, because I really want to show you the point I can pull off, right? I'm 17 now. So you can see how much point I can pull off by just planning and anticipating in this game, and it's all about that if you want to rank for events. It's all about anticipating and saving. Even if you're a spender, you will need to save a lot less, but people that just bought pack on the day of the event, they're never gonna rank. Maybe, they're gonna rank for a week or two because they are the biggest spender in the game and they don't care in their states, whatever. But that's not gonna work long term. Long term, you wanna need to accumulate for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, up to 3 months for free to play and low spenders to be able to rank to an event. And that's just how you do it. And you plan your progression and you know what you do and you learn the game properly. So that's why you have my channel to learn. You can always ask me questions in the comments. You are very, 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 very welcome to ask me anything, guys. But that's first 20 million points. I have, I could do that for a lot more time because I still have 50k, so I'll do a lot more research. Then I'll do some camps. Then I'll have to finish all of them to level 10. That one to level 10. I'll have to do my resource as well, and they take an hour, so I'll be able to do all of that today. And then I did not calculate. You could spend time and calculate how much time how much point you can make, but it's too many small things at the beginning. But I might be able to reach 30-40 million. Let's see if I can do 35. I'll give you an update tomorrow. But that's at the free-to-play, just saving for 3 days on the first event. And to be honest with you guys, if I was doing it all over again, I will leave my shelter to level 4 or something. I leave shelter to level 4. I leave infirmary. I will only upgrade it beyond level 4 if I really need to, because my dudes are getting sick and are dying. But even though they are dying and getting sick, it does not really matter at this stage of the game. So I leave all of that to level 4. I'll do a bit less research. I've done too much on the growth tree. You see, I've done the camp and the warding, and I've done some of the bandaging here. Like, I've lost maybe 5 million points or something by doing stupid things, you know, even if I know what to do. So you could really optimize that a lot if you really care to. It's not needed. But, you know, if I finish top 20, so let's say, one last thing before we go, right? If I finish today, let's say I'm not gonna be crazy about it, but let's say I finish around here, right? So it's 10 hours speed ups, it's a lot of resources, it's some gems compared to if I'm finishing here, right? I get, you know, 5 times the gems, I got a bit more, right? If I get in the top 5, it starts to be very good, right? In somewhere I can get to the top 5. And let's say I finish in the top 10 or top 20, I could get some Geronimo shards. As a free-to-play, it does not really matter because most of the shards you have to buy them, so I don't need to be top 10 as a free-to-play. As a spender, you will want to be at least top 10, right? Then, but you're gonna get 6k gems. So if you get, you know, 2k gems on day 1, 1k gems on day 2, 2k gems, like you might get 10 or 15k gems from that event. And it's one of the first events you get very little amount of gems. In later generation, if you do that, you can get 150k gems per event, right? With just ranking on a few days, plus ranking on the overall event. And that's really big. So that, again, trying to teaching you the right habits, right mindsets, anticipate, plan. That's already, you know, we're already 21 million points, and that's gonna climb, and I'll give you an update tomorrow in the video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. You know, help me to reach 1,000 subscribers so I can share with you my Discord. And all I have said today will be written in the Discord as well. So you can copy paste it to your alliances. You can start over, be a R5 of your own alliance, and use my guides, and, you know, just copy paste it. I'm just asking you to give me credit and to show, you know, to kind of promote the channel if you do that. So, you know, I get something back from the work I do. But that's, you know, it's all free at the end of the day. There is nothing paid. You don't need to buy it. You don't need to buy a coaching service. You don't need to buy a subscription of any kind. You get all of it for free. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.